we're going to look at two advanced cable combos, the 3 Cable Slingshot and the direct 3 cables. By the way, this is the third of 4 videos on advanced cable maneuvers, and you can watch all of them on this playlist. Now let's look at the 3 Cable Slingshot. It uses one cable to pull Fanny to the opposite direction where you want to go, and then using the 2 cables to go to the direction you want to go. It's useful to trick enemies so that they think that you're retreating, but in actuality you're just winding it up so that when you actually go for the enemy you have more speed and actually surprise them. Here's an example where our target is Popol, but 2 of his allies are here. So we'll just make it look like we're retreating so that they relax, and then we're gonna use 2 cables to go towards Popol. Here's another example by the turtle area. There are 3 enemies ganging up against us, so we're gonna do a false retreat to scatter them and go back in for the ultimate. That's why some Fanny users call this the false retreat. But it has uses other than false retreat. Instead of retreating, you can actually move forward towards the enemy's direction and deal double damage. Here's an example. I used one cable to go through these 2 enemies towards their direction and then 2 cables to go back, and on the way back we hit them twice. Here it is again at full speed. Here's an example when we're chasing Melissa at bottom lane. And you can combine it with an ultimate, and here's an example where I used a slingshot then ultimate on D-Roth. You could also use it as a short slingshot like here against Helkert, which makes it a very deadly combo in tight spaces. For example, in the enemy's jungle, or your own jungle by the orange buff, or by your purple buff. And just like all the other combos in this series, you can weave this into your freestyle cables. More on freestyle later on in this video series. Next combo is the direct 3 cables. You start off with one set-up cable and then 2 cables directly to the wall. This is how it would look like to the other side. It's mainly used in battle, so we're just gonna look at more examples in game. For this example, we start off with one setup cable towards the turtle island and then 2 direct cables towards the edge of the wall. For the next example, we only used the 3 direct cables after the engagement, which you can use typically after ganking top lane and you want to go to the crab. The next example is when you're invading the purple buff of the enemy. Here's another example where you can use it to steal the turtle. And it's very useful in chasing enemies like in this example. Plus, you can combine it with other combos like in this example. And just like in top lane, you can use it to go to the crab after a gank. This is another variation of the direct 3 cables which you can use to target enemies hiding behind the walls, and this will actually surprise them. All you need to do is fire the 3rd cable where the 2nd cable is. And here's an actual example by the Lord area. You can use this to trick enemies so that they'll think that you're just passing through them, but in actuality they are your target. The trick here is to set it up in a way that the enemy is very near to your 2nd cable, so that when you fire the 3rd cable towards your 2nd cable, you'll go towards the enemy. If you want to learn the 4 advanced Fanny cable techniques, you can watch this playlist, click the links, and see you there.